5 seconds of courage. What's up, sweethearts? I know it's been a crazy amount of time since the last time I posted a video, but I am actually back here with a life update. A lot of things have transpired, a lot of things have gone on, a lot of things have fallen through. There's a lot of changes that have been happening throughout my life in the last 2 months, and it's just time for me to step back into this space and just fill you in. So here we are. So the reason I decided to take a break from YouTube is because I just felt like I wasn't in the right headspace with where I wanted to take this channel. It very much was a all or nothing, do or die type of mindset when it came to posting on this channel. I was very fixated on the results that I wanted to get and not my impact and my mission that I am obviously sent here to do. So it was too much. It was burning me out. I was exhausted. So in that moment, I just decided I'm just gonna put it down for a moment. So in these past 2 months, I have just been focusing on other areas of my life while also trying to reroute into a different headspace when it comes to showing up for you guys. I will say that I do not feel completely like I am in the headspace I want to be, but I've decided just to take those initial first baby steps to getting there. Where do I even begin? Where do I even begin? So speaking of my channel, there is going to be a few changes to expect in the future. I am considering rebranding and rerouting my channel content. And the reason being is because for years now, I just have not been feeling like I'm resonating with the name, The Smile Inside Your Heart. In the time that I had spent off of YouTube, I have realized that that name is more of my mission, the message, and the motto. The 3 M's, like the mission, the message, the motto, more than it is just like the stamp, right? So it never felt right. I've always felt like it was forced. Even saying it felt kind of uncomfortable coming out of my mouth. I felt kind of shame around the name, like embarrassed. I don't even know where that came from though, because a lot of people say that they love the name The Smile Inside Your Heart, but there was always a sense of like wanting to hide that because I didn't know how people would think of it. Like they would think, oh, that's weird. Oh, that's cringe. Oh, that name is a mouthful. And those things that I've tried to just work through, but I think in that area, a pivot would be more appropriate. So that way I can feel more comfortable and also be more brandable. I think the biggest thing with The Smile Inside Your Heart is that it is really long. And I wanted to just condense my name into something that was more, flowing off the tongue. So I did rebrand my Instagram. I now go by feels like freedom _feels like freedom. And that to me, just even when I said that, it felt right in my heart space. So I feel like I might change the name of this channel, but I'm always going to hold on to The Smile Inside Your Heart because that truly is what I'm trying to convey to you guys, to follow The Smile Inside Your Heart. And yeah, now that we're on that topic, let's discuss how I've gotten to a new headspace in my mission. When I first started this channel, they just tell you to start, right? They just tell you to just do the thing, press play and go. And that's awesome advice because you do want to get into a groove and a flow. But there's a time where you do need to like pause and return back to the reason why you started the channel in the first place. And for me, that was in those 2 months that I had taken this break. And when I did that and reflected, I quickly realized that I was not showing up as my authentic self and showing you the full mission. Even though The Smile Inside Your Heart is probably going to be taken off as the brand name, that still is the mission. That is still what I am here for, right? My goal is to show you via inspiration, via practical healing strategies, via scientific information on how to essentially follow the smile inside your heart. The smile inside your heart is your passions, is your hobbies, is that, like I said in one of my very first YouTube videos, the smile inside your heart is your innocence package. It's what you came to earth with, already loving without anyone having to tell you what to love, anyone having to tell you how to do things. It's just those things that you innately feel drawn to. And I believe that those are the things that you were gifted from your source that's going to lead you in the path that you belong on. So the smile inside your heart, that is the goal. That is the goal of this channel, following that calling towards that destination. But I will be honest with you, I wasn't showing up fully in previous videos on this channel. I left a huge portion of myself out, which is my spiritual self, my spiritual practices. It took a lot for me to really show up and admit that I am a highly spiritual woman, and my spiritual practices are what inform all of these passions of mine. I did that because I just didn't feel like I could be fully accepted by the masses if I have these spiritual or quote unquote woo-woo practices, and I wouldn't be taken seriously. And I think a lot of that has come from me working in corporate and having to mask myself there. Also, me having to mask myself in my family, because I am like one of the only, or if not the only, highly spiritual woman with these type of practices. And it just bubbled over into my content. And I just don't want to lead like that anymore. Moving forward into my next phase on the channel, I'm going to be authentically me, and you're going to see a lot of more spiritual topics on this channel. And honestly, right now, I might as well just introduce myself and the things that I like to do that I didn't put on the channel previously. So I really do enjoy learning and teaching about astrology. I have psychic abilities in the tarot and mediumship and inner child sensitivity. I'm an empath, and I am a dream walker. All of these things are highly spiritual topics that I can get into in the future. If you feel interested, you can leave a comment down below to see what exactly that means. But yeah, I'm not going to hold that part of me back anymore. That feels good. That feels good. Yeah. Another update, which may come to a surprise to all of you, I am leaving my current job as a scientist. That path, that road is still a little bit hazy right now as far as where I want to go with science and how far I want to go with science. I still have a passion and love for psychology and for molecular biology, but the environment that I was in, my current lab, was not suitable for my mental health. My boss was unkind, to say the least, and I needed to get out of there. So my end date is going to be around the beginning of September, and I will be putting my career in science on hold in the meantime. I have been actively searching for another lab position in Philadelphia, and as of now, nothing has come through. So I'm not putting too much pressure on it, because being the spiritual woman I am, I know that when one door closes, another door opens. I know that what's meant for me will find me. And I know that if it's a no right now, then it will be a yes later in some other capacity or some other job. I'm confident that it's going to be okay. And that's another thing about what I had to learn in this break period. I really had to learn how to surrender. And I think surrendering my YouTube for a short while was the beginning of that, which led me into surrendering over my whole entire life, just to let go of the control that I wanted so bad on how I wanted my life to look. I had to just put it down and give it up. I learned that because of my job failing and me not feeling happy at something that I worked so hard for, I just told myself, oh, I can't do this. I can't do this. It was just one too many times where I just felt so crappy and belittled and insignificant and like I didn't belong. And I just wanted it out of my hands and out of my heart. And for a while, this feeling of needing to get out of my job, like I've been hearing things in my head like quit your job, quit your job, quit your job. I've been hearing that for a while, and I was just too scared. I was too scared of the uncertainty, of the financial constraints, of just what my family would think, because my family is so proud of me for being a scientist. And I just had all these voices in my head telling me like, no, don't do it. But I realized that in itself is a level of distrust in the universe, because if I really did trust the universe, I could quit my job right now and know that everything would be okay. And that's full trust. And I understand that there's other things that go into that don't allow you to do that immediately. But full trust is saying, like, if I just hit rock bottom right now, I know at rock bottom I will still be happy. And I wasn't able to say that, which is why I am calling this in-between period between jobs right now rock bottom. And it's actually a funny story because I'm excited to get there again. The backstory of rock bottom for me happened around COVID time. I call this my first ever rock bottom when COVID shut down and I was literally doing nothing. And I felt that hollowness for the first time, a sense of not having anything fulfilling going on in my life. And I realized that if I wasn't in school, if I wasn't working, if I wasn't doing sports, then I literally wouldn't, like, who was I? And in that moment is when I started picking up all these things that make my heart smile: the yoga, the dancing, the modeling. And it was because I had that rock bottom moment to just sit in stillness that I learned, okay, this is the route I want to take my life. And in me surrendering, I reflected on that time and I learned that, okay, I need to get back to that stillness, but this time route myself in the direction that is lacking perfectionism, lacking the opinions of others. I need to get to a place where I take my passions and everything that I've been building for years now, and I just move forward in trust and faith. So yeah, that's where I plan to go. Straight down to rock bottom. And the reason why I like rock bottom, and I always tell people, like, yes, it sounds like it sucks, it feels like it sucks, but the beautiful thing about it is once you get down there, there's no choice but to go up. There's no choice but to go up. And truly, 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 it's facts, because you can't stay at rock bottom forever. You're gonna have to move. You're gonna start getting uncomfortable there. But for me, I'm gonna make myself comfortable there and then figure out what I'm gonna do from there. I am welcoming rock bottom. I'm inviting rock bottom because I know it's going to shape me into a better individual and push me in alignment of where I want to go. So yes, that is an update there. A few more updates. When I was gone, I tried to move. I wanted to move to Philly, and I was so close, guys. I was so close to getting to Philly. The reason why I couldn't really put out on this channel, because I was actively going back and forth to Philly, meeting up with my roommate, which ended up falling through, doing tours. I was grinding out in this search to find an apartment, and I feel like it was very one-sided. I didn't mind it because I just was so passionate about getting out there and I just wanted to do it, but it truly burned me out. And I realized a lot about how I show up in relationships and how I put my best foot forward when sometimes it's not always reciprocated. And that's nobody's fault. Like, it's not even the person's fault that she couldn't match me. She was at a different place in life, but it definitely does show, like, when it needs to work and when it will work, you will have a balance. I found like the most beautiful apartment ever. It was my dream apartment, And that was another area where I had to surrender control because I wanted that apartment so bad. I thought I was getting my dream. And in that, I learned that you have to let go of things that you think you want in order to get what you need. And like I said in the beginning of this video, I'm okay with letting things go now because I know on the other end of my success is something better. Always gonna be something better and better for me. Also, this is like my first time talking about astrology topics. I tried to move to Philly during a freaking Saturn and Mercury double whammy retrograde, and I thought I could just breeze by that, and no, that wasn't working. So Saturn was like, no, sit down. And Mercury was like, I try to tell her. I try to tell it. So yeah, not happening right now. All right, I think that really concludes my updates. I don't think I have anything else to tell you guys, but I will be going back into hermit mode after this video just for a little bit, just to get right up here. But I am feeling a lot more confident right now and feeling like I can proceed moving forward. If you would see the behind the scenes of me making these videos, you would be like, oh my God, I had no idea. You seem so natural and so fluid on your videos, but let me tell you, I would stutter, I would stammer, I would get frustrated, and I can't push forward like that. So in the time that I was gone, I was also like practicing my public speaking, getting in alignment with what I wanted to talk about and what I wanted to bring to you guys. And I can feel myself now being able to talk more fluidly. And I feel like that's because I energetically realigned. As far as topics, I will say that my main goal on this channel is to bring you content that bridges the gap between spirituality and science, with the motive of helping you to heal yourself in practical and passionate ways, period. I like this idea because science is important to me and so is spirituality, and I have respect for both fields, but sometimes I feel like they don't have respect for each other, and I want to be that respecting mediator between the two because spirituality is science-backed. Everything is science-backed. Science is the proof, the theory of everything, you know? And there should be no reason why there's not a healthy marriage between the two, and there's not a level of respect between the two, and I think that I can provide that. So yeah, that's going to be the end of this video, guys. I'm really, really happy that I'm back, and I've missed you, and I know that you guys have missed me as well. Hang tight. I'm going to continue on this journey of surrendering and letting go, and I will be back on this channel very soon. As always, follow the smile inside your heart, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye.